I was thinking more about stomping from that.
Mm-hmm. Woo! Woo!
Stop breaking shit, Greta.
You must have me mistaken with Aaron.
Actually, it was me and Jordan earlier.
I spent an hour and a half.
Mainly Jordan.
I spent an hour and a half trying to fix something, and then I'm like, Ryan, help me.
By something, you mean the campaign.
Why did you break the campaign, Jordan? Why would you
I was trying
do
to
this?
add the skills from Age of Rebellion.
Oh.
It didn't work. There's like 3 new skills I wanted to add. I'm like, no.
Oh, it would work. It's not that difficult.
Fixing, I screwed up somewhere along the line. I'm like, I tried fixing it for an hour and a half.
Look, Jordan is a federal employee. He doesn't have time for Java.
And every time you
work with Java in my federal job.
Exactly, you don't have time for Java in your non-work time.
Anyways, Grimith, there's actually one thing in Fly Casual that you may want. Shock boots.
Nope.
You don't want boots that shock people?
Nope. That's
Don't they
dumb.
increase your damage by 1?
They can disorient and stun people.
You know what else can disorient people? My fists.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. I think compared to your fist, it's 1 additional damage for being a kick instead of a punch. It's just silly.
I mean, if I was into kicking people, but my dude was a shock boxer, not a shock mixed martial artist.
A shock kickboxer.
He just like fucking like lifts up his laminate armor leg and roundhouses everyone. No.
Ryan, does Laana want a smuggler's trench coat?
Yeah, I was already talking about that. I think it would be like the trade-off is I can either take its ability to hide something against my skullduggery, compared to the armored clothing, which has a hard point for superior. Although for me, because its encumbrance is already 3, all that's really going to do is add 1 soak. So
it's a trade-off.
My soak is already so horrible, it's not going to be the end-all determinant whether something hits me or not. So I'm honestly thinking just taking the straight-up hiding spot would be better.
It also looked pretty cool.
Yeah, then I just need a really wide-rimmed hat to go with it.
You can play the... What is this? What are you playing? Firefly now?
I'll be a pirate of the Star Wars Ribian.
No, he doesn't want to play Firefly. They were canceled. Ryan doesn't want to be canceled.
They didn't even make it through the first season.
But they did get a movie.
They did. And the pilot died, so I still don't want to be playing that.
I was going to say, so you get impaled in the chair was going to be my next joke.
After saying that I am like a leaf flying on the wind.
Poor Alan Tudyk.
I feel like that scene, the entire purpose of that happening was to punctuate there is not going to be more of this series.
Oh, it punctuated all right. Along
like,
with
we just killed off. Yeah, we just killed off like one of the main characters people love. This series dies here. It was Fox's fault anyway.
Oh yeah, they aired every single episode out of order.
Oh, they did multiple things wrong.
They aired every single episode out of order, including 2-part episodes.
Including the first episode.
The hour-and-a-half long made-for-TV movie.
The other big thing is when they aired it. It was right after the football game, so it never aired on time, meaning they were often cut short. In
up an NFL game, yeah, those never have a tendency to go longer than.
Yeah, it was in I think the 9 o'clock Monday slot, 9 or 10 or p.m. Monday, so it was right after the football game.
Fox had the Monday Night Football back then?
I suppose at the time. Certainly wouldn't have been ESPN.
It was either Monday or Thursday or Friday, I don't remember, but they had it right after a football game every week.
From what I remember, the Thursday night football was like a recent thing because it used to just be on Thanksgiving.
I'm pretty sure it was Mondays.
All right, that's fine.
Regardless, terrible time slot, played out of order. They advertised it as something that it wasn't. It was just Fox killed it.
I never had that problem. I didn't hear of Firefly until I saw Serenity on HBO. I was like, oh, what's this series?
Yeah.
The movie. Okay, that's cool. Am I supposed to know these people?
It feels like I'm coming in late.
So there's a lot of replays. This was like my sophomore year in college, so I'm like, all right, I catch it again because HBO has a tendency to constantly replay like the same amount of movies in a given month. I'm like, no, I definitely caught this at the beginning. All right, maybe it's one of those like art movies where you're just supposed to pick it up as you go. Let me type this into the internet. Serenity. No, I don't mean the word. Oh, okay.
It's like, huh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, Aaron.
Damn it, Aaron.
Sitting here playing with this thing, wanting you to update it to the next version. There's not a full version update out, but there's new updates to the framework libraries with some improvements, like being able to apply vicious to criticals.
Well, Jordan doesn't believe in updates.
Well, no, that's
I'm back.
that's kind of how he broke it earlier. Was trying to apply a self update. They're also talking about adding like actual talent functions into it as well as an inventory system.
Your poor stat.
I don't need an inventory system. I have a character sheet.
Like they're talking about fully integrating, which is crazy to me.
The nebulous they.
Mm-hmm.
Those assholes.
Yeah. They. Them. How dare they?
The Men in Black.
I know what they want to do.
God damn it, Aaron.
He's eating. Give him a break.
He's
This is
getting
your
a
fault. Your fault for scheduling it at his dinner time.
He's getting a Chrome job.
Oh, a CJ, huh?
Yeah.
How much is that?
Oh, about tree fitting.
Oh, if you have to ask, you can't afford it. Well, I've got like $350.
Goddamn Loch Ness monster.
Alright, repurposing this for this.
Repurposing J3PO into
No. Well, technically.
a table lamp.
So, as a reminder, or just supposed to refresh my memory, Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
I receive 2 strain that can't be healed this session, and everyone else receives 1 strain that can't be healed this session because my
Correct.
navigation triggered. That's what I thought.
Correct. I was just gathering up the tokens for that.
Alright.
Oh. One other question. Does anyone remember if we decided Jay was going to drive or gun?
Jay's gonna drive because, at least as far as we were concerned, he was the best driver. If you're going to be a better driver, then
No,
you
it's.
can talk
I would
to Eric
have.
about that.
I mean, it's
See,
still
here's
better
here's
if he has
the toss-up. I don't think Jay has gunnery skill points yet.
Yeah.
But he has better drive, but he also just has better dice pool,
In general.
dice numbers. So it's like, either way you look at it, they're probably it's a toss-up either way. Either we can have the better gunner or the better driver, even though they're kind of on par.
I don't think it's a toss-up because gunnery, I don't think is that much of an emphasis. You don't want your gunnery to be too good because if someone dies out there...
Well, that's one thing I actually mentioned is in vehicular combat, you can target critical systems,
Right,
and it doesn't just straight up destroy the vehicle. You can just like shoot out their engine, and they can only move at speed 1.
Yeah. I think I'll take the gunnery position. I'm not putting skill points into it. I was just wondering.
Yeah, but I think definitely if murder is frowned upon.
Damn you, Lando!
I am
if it's
very
that
sorry
bad.
for being late.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I like to be punctual.
It's alright, Aaron.
Okay.
Life happens.
I want to do my updates right now since I didn't get a chance to earlier. I'm getting 1 point in computers, and I'm picking up jury rig.
Rad.
Okay. What are you jury rigging with it, though?
That's a good question.
That is a good one.
Maybe Chris will consider that later, just wants to have the option available now.
Wants to be having fun.
Yeah, you don't have to pick at the time you choose it.
Yeah, it's just like Tinker.
And actually, I think you can swap it around if you want it to no longer count for any given thing.
Only if you lose or...
I was about to say, so just like the upgrade you added just like falls off, like, whoop, damn it, I can't put the scope back on.
Pretty much. Probably a fluff-related reason.
You can only do that if the object is lost or destroyed. We were actually just reading up on that before you guys joined.
So incinerate something if you want to replace it.
See, that's the thing where it becomes questionable. It's like, what if you just intentionally destroy it?
I'd count it. I mean,
Then I gain its power. Clearly, whenever you like, when you add like a hard point to something, you like spend a part of your essence on it, and in order to regain it, you must destroy it.
It's gonna be like some Highlander shit where you just snap it in half, and like the spirit comes out and absorbs into you.
technically, I suppose you could just sell it to make it no longer accessible to you. But where's the fun in that?
No, then you'd like fucking like try to kill the merchant or whatever and get it back. Ah.
Oh, what you do is you put a gene lock on it and use it as a bomb.
There you go. There you go. Chris already has this covered. Already given a serious
You just
thought.
hand it to another player and say, "Here, use this."
Well planned.
Yes. Chris has been discussing using gene locks, I think, since before we started play.
I know.
The downside, of course, is that you're using a hard point on gene lock.
Mm-hmm.
I can just tinker the hard point on it. It's fine.
You're still losing one to it.
You use the fucking tinker thing to add a hard point to add gene lock.
Just so that you can get your refunded jury rig back.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's when the GM just sits there staring at you across the table like, are you fucking
Just
serious?
like, what?
I mean, I guess you can.
There's,
Sure.
My eyes on you, player.
it's at times like this I wish we were using Tabletop Simulator so I could just flip the table.
Yeah.
That's like the best feature of that thing.
Oh, it's pretty good for any hard-based one.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I've added my unrecoverable strain.
Mm-hmm.
I added my one, I just have to remember.
Everyone
to
has
recover
one
it.
strain.
That's right, Chris, Aaron, you all get one unrecoverable strain for the session because of my obligation.
Oh, my strain.
Mm-hmm.
These are dark times.
Dark times indeed.
Well, I think that really depends on what we roll our starting destiny.
Which
They may be-
Rakcharr
okay.
did you give the strain to?
I gave to Bespin because we're located in Bespin, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I'll switch over to Bespin.
Yes.
Oh,
I like-
shit.
I like where this
These
is going.
are even darker times.
I like where these
Yeah,
are
we are definitely in dark times.
So, all in favor of abandoning this quest and leaving Cloud City?
I don't know.
Fuck your dark season, we push forward.
Fuck your dark. I'm gonna go raiding whether you like it or not, asshole.
Explore, it's dark season.
What did I put points in?
I don't remember, Aaron.
I know, I'm asking myself rhetorically.
Don't say it out loud. Or two.
You're asking yourself rhetorically, but you want a serious answer to that question, right, Aaron?
Yes, and here I am just giving myself the silent treatment. What an asshole.
You need to be more considerate towards yourself.
I know, right?
That Aaron is such an asshole, Aaron.
Right?
You know,
He is the worst.
Be a real dick move to not give Aaron an answer right about now.
no, I don't want to do. I don't want to edit it like that game. God. There we go.
Are you double clicking on tokens again?
Yeah, why not it?
You want to fight about it?
I mean, you can edit them in there, like that's an option.
I mean,
It's really weird.
that's actually really, really weird to do so because it fucks up the way they do their automatic
Yes.
detection of things.
It's not happy.
Yeah, editing token properties inside the token instead of editing them using the normal ways. If there's a macro system in place, can also flip the table.
Oh yes, I definitely learned that as Jordan and I pre-session were working on trying to add some of the other book skills to the framework. We failed.
Well, it doesn't matter today unless you have people who are going to immediately be using these skills, right?
I don't know.
Like we can have a session, right?
You remember all of my macros from the last game system, right?
No, I'm pretty sure everyone deleted everything involving that system, and that included
What
my
system are
memory.
we talking about here again?
And I choose not to remember anything involving macros.
I have an empty folder called New Folder. I don't know what's going on anymore.
I think this is the first game we played together.
What was past me doing with this?
I think this is the first game we played together. Yeah, it's
definitely the first game I played with you.
Fuck you, Aaron.
What's up with this guy?
Look at who's this asshole over here.
Look at this asshole.
Alright, where were we?
Being extra productive.
We were being extremely productive and it's 6:12. That means it's time for...
12 minutes past.
It's okay, this will still be starting earlier than my fucking 13th age game. Scrub Lords are like 20-30 minutes late. Because why be punctual for a tabletop?
That offends my sensibilities.
It also offends my sensibilities every single week.
Remember that group that I hated? Yeah.
Alright.
Show up at 5:30, start by 7 or 8.
I believe you guys have a list of... Not a list, but you have some things you want to be doing.
Well, we have numerous ideas that we've kicked around and discussed here. We've just left the museum, Fig and Associates Art Museum. Sounds like it should actually be
Someone's
a law
knocking on my
firm.
door. I have to go somewhere. I have to go check this out.
God damn it.
Yes.
It does. It sounds like a law firm.
Did we just leave the museum, or did we just leave the theme bar?
We left the bar.
We just... Okay, it was the bar? I thought the museum was the
It was-
last thing we did.
We went to the museum first. Or
It was
before
museum.
that.
Wait, we went to a bar?
We
Yeah, for
went
the-
to,
Wasn't
like,
that
the
inside?
fucking, like, retirement place thing or whatever, where they had all of the racers, where you, like, pumped that one guy, Old Sev or whatever, of information.
That pit crew thing.
Yeah. And I
Everyone
drank
was
a
gr-
Gamorrean brew.
Okay, that.
I
Yeah,
saw a vision
that.
of the future.
That just it's coming up in my mind as just an information dump.
You had to access your information dump, apparently.
Well, then, like I remember all the information, but I don't really remember any interaction going on for it. I just remember suddenly learning it all. It was just an information dump in my
Suddenly it
mind.
was just beamed into your brain.
Like there was no game involved. We were just told a bunch of shit.
Alright, so, let's see. Which of our things is most urgent or accessible at this point?
I would like to actually go and find the car that we've been loaned, so that we can take a look at it and see. Just because Jordan said it was in good condition, you know, and go from there.
Oh. Didn't Arend say it was in good condition?
We were told it was in good condition, either by the father or the daughter.
That sounds accessible and important.
Either of whom I trust further than I can throw them, and I have one brawn.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Aaron is apparently being motivated by vengeance, and at no point has anyone who's been motivated by vengeance ever lied about being motivated by vengeance. I mean, he's been completely on the up and up with us, right?
Yeah, totally. Vengeance really doesn't give you like impractical impulses when you suddenly decide to pursue it or anything.
You know,
You know, I thought you said that Aaron was motivated by vengeance, and I was going to be like, what?
you didn't know?
we added that motivation to your sheet while you weren't looking.
Yeah, I've got your character sheet right here, Aaron.
Well, how about that?
Let me just erase intelligence.
That's my good deed for the day done.
Good job.
Did you punch someone?
Did,
You bought
did
Girl
you not
Scout
kill the
cookies.
children outside?
No, I've bought Girl Scouts cookies like 3 times in the last 2 months already, so that's not a good deed.
Because they're delicious.
Anyways, no, it was because I'm going to be slightly racist right now. There's ethnic people that live in this apartment complex, and they cannot pronounce English words correctly. And instead
So
of
you pronounce
it,
the word for them.
no, they printed no, not it was a delivery. They were going to apartment 33. This is the apartment building 3333. The person that they went to was said 2323, but instead it to the poor Chinese people, it sounds like 3333. This is the second time it's happened.
So what?
That
free ship did you
explanation
get?
was barely followed by me.
Because Aaron, you're dumb.
Not paying much attention. Correct.
Why are you not paying attention, Aaron?
Because that sure was a
You're
story.
kind of the
that's
one
why.
that asked him what the
I
story
know it
was.
was my fault.
Yeah, it's your fault, Aaron.
What
Now
a
you
fucking dickbag. Jeez, Aaron.
know what, Aaron? J3PO serves one more strain.
Well,
He just
I
can't
was
hit.
kind of literally asking for it.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, detention.
Anyways, you guys had before I so rudely interrupted you guys to go deal with poor, barely able to speak English Chinese person.
It's okay.
What were you talking about?
We've developed some sort of semblance of what priorities we'd like to take care of in the days leading up to the Grand Prix and Gala. One of those would end up being actually going to the car that we've been loaned and observing it for ourselves. Wouldn't it be really funny if this whole, like, vengeance ploy that Aaron was is actually against one of the members of the group, and then the car exploded during the Grand Prix?
That would be hilarious.
Exactly, so...
Well, in that case, he's probably targeting Jack the Dead Pilot.
Yes, that's exactly... So what we need to do then, first, is go to the car so that the mechanic can look it over and see what kind of condition it's in. And then we'll go from there.
All right.
My astute assessment. Yep, it's a piece of trash.
Okay, so is everyone going there, or is someone else got to go off and do something else?
Never split the party.
All right.
Even if this is a system that highly encourages it at times.
Or at this point, which is you could get multiple things done at once, but okay.
I think we're all interested in at least seeing the car so we know where to go from there.
All right.
Jay wants to look at it because he's gonna die in it.
I want to look at it because Jay's gonna die in it.
Anyways,
And I'm buying popcorn.
you're gonna head off there. That's fine. We can do that. Aaron has gotten you a private berth for your airspeed car, and you have the address for you. And if you didn't have the address, you could just comlink Eris, and she'd just like, oh, here it is.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's good.
Sorry you guys didn't have it. Must have slipped my mind. Anyways, upon your arrival, read this. I probably shouldn't have read that.
Well, I don't have anything to read.
The security doors slide out of the way with a barely audible hiss, and you find yourself staring into a snug vehicle berth. There are a variety of tools and maintenance equipment strewn about, a Storm 4 cloud cart in the familiar two-cockpit formation. The airspeeder is painted the same reddish hues as those utilized by the city's winged guards, and could easily pass for the real thing.
Huh. So not only is it like a cloud car, but it's like a governmental cloud car?
Looks that way.
Wonderful.
I guess he is a bureaucrat.
So it's the Ford Taurus of cloud cars.
It's got those fucking oval
It's nowhere
headlights and
near that
everything.
practical looking.
There's a cloud.
I meant slow.
Alright, so what do you want to do?
Oh, first off, I just want to take a general diagnostics and see, what condition it's really in.
Well, that'll be an easy mechanics check while I grab a quick airspeeder picture that'll drop in the thing.
Found an airspeeder picture for you already.
Do I get any
a cloud
thing
car.
for just like the stuff around? Like, is there diagnostics equipment just hanging out?
Yeah, it looks to be in pretty good condition. A few dings, a few dents, a few scrapes here and there, but that looks like paint. That looks like paint repairing the paint, stuff like that.
No, I mean like for the roll, is there any like diagnostics equipment just hanging out? That would be easy.
Yeah, that's two boosts. You're in perfect lighting. It's literally perfect light. It's a
Here
perfect.
comes every advantage ever.
Well, that's not every advantage ever.
All right, just stuff for two strain.
Bang my head on the thing.
Yeah, that's basically what I said before. It looks to be in pretty darn good condition. I can tell you like the exact numbers on the thing if you want me to.
I mean, unless there's a like notable damage to it that would count on the hull integrity.
No, there's nothing like that. Nothing like that.
What's the speed and handling, at least?
Don't worry about that. I'm going to lower the size of this really quickly. Freeze.
Don't worry about the important part.
Yeah, the speed and handling. The speed is 4, and the handling is a +1.
Right.
It's pretty darn. It's basically considered that is if you have any information with those classics as you do. That's basically bog standard for Cloud City cars from Wingguard, which is the people that flew in with Han on Episode 4. It's a bog standard cloud car.
So we're going to drop in a new engine, or what?
We don't exactly have
Engine money?
a
No.
massive bankroll here. We have
we
a
don't.
whopping 925 ship credits.
Okay, so
And,
first order of business, steal an engine.
Hey, that was my suggestion. Raid the other people's garages.
I liked that suggestion. I hadn't even thought of that.
Cloud car.
If that's what the majority of the group wants to do, if Chris gets behind that.
Hey, I want to consider it.
Change
How soon is the race again?
3 days?
Day and
Like
a
2.5 days?
You have basically 15 hours left in this day, then another 24 hours before the race begins.
Okay.
So basically, the beginning of this day was left with you going to Figs and Associates and some other things and talking to those people.
A little
race
more
is
than a day and a half, not counting sleep time.
And
The race is important, but I really do need to get those encryption keys from the comp.
It's either that, or there's always the possibility that we could try to find someone who'd be willing to try and configure the computer spike. The problem with that is that we would have to trust someone hacking into that account.
Well, the good thing about raiding those corporate headquarters is that we can get encryption keys and floor plans in the same place, ideally.
Okay.
I think we should keep it in-house because that is such specialized software. We'd be telling them exactly what we're doing.
I suppose since
Fair.
we have someone who can do it. Alright then, Jordan.
Mhm.
Seeing as how I have Aaron's like information, I suppose what I'd like to do is begin trying to dig into like the research of the bidders. Like if I'm going to try, like if we're going to try to manipulate these people to bid on the Jewel of Yavin, then I guess I'd like to consult the person who would know about her husband best, and that's her. And basically see like what kind of leverage or weaknesses he might have that she knows of, which would allow us like during the gala, like maybe he has like a drug weakness, maybe he's like a major alcoholic and likes to drink or stuff like that. Basically a way that I can, I suppose, get in where one of us could to like manipulate him.
Alright, that's fine. You're going directly to Eris, I'm assuming?
I suppose I'd call her on the comlink information. If she doesn't want to talk about it over the comlink, then I could go straight to her.
Yeah,
sure.
she doesn't want to talk about it on the comlink and offers to meet you at a cantina, that racer cantina that you were last time. I believe it's 1.5, what's called the 1.5 or something like that.
Alright. I will tell the other 3 PCs that, the characters, that I'm gonna go try to do some research on, like, these other people, because I don't know a whole lot about computers and machinery and racing, and I'm not really sneaky, so I'm gonna go do my own thing. Just don't die.
Okay. Just don't die.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So how do we go die?
Well,
I mean, the biological.
You could try to assassinate Lando.
Plan.
well, the question is, the question is, it'll take some time for you to actually get over to where Eris wants you to meet, so there's some time for you guys at the place to decide some of the things, or if you want to make some vehicle upgrades.
So who's got ideas for how to track down our competitors for evening the playing field.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could potentially try to get information from some of their crew, maybe at the same cantina or others. Also hacking into the city directory to find out where their ship's registry is parked at, or what kind of storage bay or whatever they have rented. Might just be able to ask around. Some people might know, but that's probably the most overt way of doing it.